gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Everybody gon' vote. Comrade! Labor right, them a go down, bong. Them a go down, bong. Them a go down. Is that? Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. Margie, him a God picking. No hope their work if you touch Margie. We now vote for Labour. Orange we a come out in now. If you love the PNP, who no step out for Marky G. Jamaica just come along with we. People time come, people time come, people time is up.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I say that we are. Pledge your allegiance.
Who's gonna run this town tonight?
Yeah, I say that we
We gonna run this town.
You're invited to attend the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation's Town Hall meeting as we bring the budget to the people on Thursday, October 31, 2024 at the Mulgrove High School's auditorium. Come reason with us as we present the municipality's budget to you. That's the KSMAC's Town Hall meeting at Mulgrove High School's auditorium on Thursday, October 31, starting at 6 p.m. Bringing the budget to you.
Geared towards improving the well-being of the Jamaican people. But you know, there's a tendency, if I may venture an opinion, that as we get closer to decision making in our democracy, people sometimes tend to lose reason and logic around some of these policy discussions. And what I hear coming out of the opposition, unfortunately, is sends too many mixed signals as to the seriousness of intent. And I just want to say that a number of things, unfortunately, inaccuracies, which may create a bad impression, the wrong impression in the first instance. For starters, about the procurement process. We have a law that prescribes how procurement is done. Now, I may have some issues with it, to be totally frank, because I do believe that oftentimes it is very lengthy, it's bureaucratic, and we do not achieve the results that we intend to insufficient time. And while there are provisions around emergency procurement, even that sometimes has its own hurdles that has to be crossed. So any debate around procuring, using government funds, equipment or building or otherwise, needs to be taken in the context of that. And I think there's a policy discussion that should be had around that process, but not a leap to suggest that somehow that process is being ignored and somehow the Ministry of Health is purchasing substandard equipment. I don't know of it, and if it is brought to my attention, I will deal with it. But I would encourage that we have a conversation more around the process than to start laying blame on all and sundry. And then the almost ludicrous comments around rapacious capitalism. We exist in a free market, and that market is guided by these processes. And I think we should be proud of it, despite its imperfections at times, because the alternative is far less perfect, which is for unilateral decisions around who gets what. And I think we should stay clear of that. That is what characterized the 70s, that era, which we have all lived to regret in many respects. And so I just want to lay that out and to say, let's discuss policy. I'm ready, raring to go in the context of our competitive democracy. But let's not give false narratives, false impressions, hyperbolic statements, extremities, exaggerations, which only confuses the public and serves no useful end. Over the last number of months, a number of things have happened. I know Cornwell is a Achilles heel, if you will, of the government, of myself and my stewardship, because there's a lot to be said about the length of time, which is understandable. But I'm happy to report, and I said so in Parliament, that we're now in phase 3 of Cornwall. Phase 3 is the reoccupation phase, and that hopefully will offer some hope to those who may have felt like there was none at another point. In fact, we are hoping that we will start reoccupying the main building, the 10th floor building. Of course, Cornwall as an institution continues to function, and a number of positives. But we're hoping that before Christmas we will begin to occupy that facility, starting with the administration, and then we will go into a few other areas. Let me just quickly list them. And there's a reason for dealing with administration, record keeping, the server room. The brain of the institution starts there. And so in the wisdom of the project management team, in conceptualizing the approach to reoccupation, those were the areas that were required to be occupied first. Going into next year, first quarter, and by second quarter, the brand new A&E will be developed. And every month or every other month, you'll see more occupation of the facility. So I'm happy to report that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's taken a while. There was a 3-year almost hiatus because of COVID. Otherwise, we'd have been there already. But nevertheless, the people of Western Jamaica and Jamaica will see a brand new Cornwall Regional Hospital. And when I say new, it is a rescoped project, which explains the cost, where every single piece of equipment and input will be new, except the concrete and mortar, which is the original 10th floor, which has been substantially overhauled. So windows, doors, tiles, ward space, beds, and all the other diagnostic equipment will be brand new, or in Jamaican parlance, new brand. And we believe that that will mean another 50 years with appropriate servicing. Beside Cornwall, Western Child and Adolescent Hospital is in a good place now. We're projecting May of next year, May, June, for its reopening, for its official opening, the first new, fully new hospital in Jamaica in 30 or plus years. And that facility will begin with an additional 300 employment to support those that will transition from Cornwall who are dealing with pediatric and adolescent care, because it will be a pediatric and adolescent hospital. And all told, Cornwall and Western Child come next year, and then a few months beyond that, we'll see some 800 beds in place at that vicinity, the largest concentration of hospital beds, 12 new operating theaters, and I could go on and on. And so that means progress. It doesn't represent crisis, as some have positioned the narrative.
National Party Media Unit.
This is Dr. Alfred Dawes, Opposition spokesperson on health and wellness. I am calling on the Minister of Health and the Southeast Regional Health Authority to provide answers regarding the abandoned rehabilitation of 4 operating theaters at the Bustamante Hospital for Children. In 2022, a submission was reportedly made to the Chase Fund to repair these theaters. By 2023, after an inspection, Chase representatives verbally committed to funding the project, requesting a line item budget and confirming their support, pending Sarah's approval and oversight. Today, I am asking the Minister and Sarah to address these key questions. Can the Minister confirm or deny that the Chase Fund indeed requested a detailed line item budget from the BHC to proceed with the project? Was there a verbal commitment made by Chase to approve the project following a site visit, and was this followed by any correspondence outlining their readiness to fund it? If these reports are accurate, on what grounds was this critical project abandoned? With the operating theaters now non-functional, vital medical missions have been cancelled, and surgeries for our children are in jeopardy. The public deserves transparency, and our children deserve the very best in healthcare. Thank you, and the country awaits a fulsome and transparent response.